This Sunday, May 1st, at St. Andrews River Heights United Church, the Manitoba Registered Music Teachers Association will be presenting a concert that they are calling Serata. The concert will feature some of their amazing teachers who belong to the MRMTA, with monies from the concert going towards professional development programs, as well as for attendance at upcoming Canadian Federation of Music Teachers Association conferences. This Sunday's concert is especially anticipated because this is the first time the fundraising concert has been held since 2019, pre-pandemic. And joining me here in our Classic 10 studios live to talk about Serata, I am joined by the convener and organizer of the concert, Tiffany Wilson. Hey, Tiffany, it's nice to see you again.
Hi, Chris. Thank you for having me.
So Serata has been going strong for a number of years, minus the hiatus that was caused by the craziness of the pandemic.
Correct.
Can you tell our audience what the purpose of the event is and how it began?
Well, like you just said, it is to raise funds to send our teachers off to the conference, the national conference for the CFMTA, but also to raise funds for professional development here in Manitoba.
Mm-hmm. So why did the MRMTA decide that they needed to hold a fundraiser for this kind of thing?
Well, the original idea was because of a need to raise funds to host the actual CFMTA conference here in Manitoba. So that was in 2019. But in 2016, we were understanding that we were going to need to have quite a bit more money in order to run the conference as we were putting it on. We also decided that we would like to have a vocal competition. And so that falls on the host province to pay for. On top of that, it was also our 100th anniversary.
Right.
So this was a very, very big event. And we realized that we just didn't have the funds in our pocket to be able to do this. So I approached the executive, I was president at the time, with this idea that we put on a concert featuring our own teachers in order to raise these funds only for the conference. Mm-hmm. The idea for professional development came after we finished the conference. So we will raise money in the future for the conference that we will hold perhaps in 20 years from now, but also start sending our teachers off to the national conference every second year.
Right. So when putting together a concert like this, getting teachers, students to perform, it's such low-hanging fruit, right? It seems like sort of a no-brainer. Why did the MRMTA decide that the performances needed to be done by the teachers themselves?
Well, they didn't start out as a need to be. It was more an idea. At the time, I was serving as the vice president of the Canadian Federation, and I really didn't see teachers getting up and performing. I saw a lot of teachers in their studios, maybe playing for their students at their recitals, their own recitals. But I thought, wouldn't it be nice for us to feature our teachers and to raise money for professional development of our teachers in this way?
Mm-hmm. And so when you reached out to teachers for the first time, was it like an overwhelming response, or were some teachers sort of reluctant to do it?
I think I have to say that maybe some of the older generation were a little bit, not so sure about this. But I was gung-ho. It's like, let's get out there. Let's perform. Let's do something for us. You know, we're always doing so much for our students in our studios. And this just felt like the opportunity for our organization to serve our own members. So it was well received. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And has the participation been greater as Serata has gone through these years? Are you getting more and more participants? Or
I think it's pretty even across the board. I don't think there's any more or any less than there have been from the original first concert.
Mm-hmm. And from the teachers that you've heard that are going to be performing this weekend, are they excited about getting back on stage?
I think so.
After this craziness of COVID?
Absolutely. A lot of us have already started performing, but quite a few, it will be their first time back up on stage. And I think they've had 2 years to practice.
Yeah.
Hasn't been much else to do, so they're quite excited.
Oh, it's amazing. Can you talk about some of the teachers who will be performing this weekend? What can audience members expect?
Well, we have a wide variety of instruments that will be performed. We've also, as we have in the past, hired a second piano, thank you to St. John's Music. So we'll have 2 grand pianos up on stage, so a lot of 4-hand. No 8-hand, unfortunately, this year. In the past, we have. But performers are ranging on clarinet, lots of piano, as usual, voice. What else have we got? Flute. Really a nice, well-rounded package.
So, Tiffany, is it just going to be performances, or what else is there going to be at the Serata this weekend?
Well, you're going to be there, Chris. You're going to be opening it up. So we're looking forward to that and your introduction of our host, Mariel Smith, who will be hosting the evening, Dr. Mariel. And we will also be having scholarship presentations to students who have won awards during this year. And more fun on the fun side is the silent auction. So we've got some tickets for Thermea, we've got gift certificates for 5 to 9 Wellington, and a beautiful quilt that's been donated. You know, you got to have one of those.
Yeah.
If you're an association.
Never mind. After this weekend and after this morning, I'm thinking about the Thermea thing. I'm like, man, that would be
so that'll bring in a crowd, right?
perfect. Yeah. Oh, it sounds great. With fundraising events, very often there are goals that you hope to reach for money. What is the financial goal for this year's Serata concert?
I always like to say around $2,000 to $3,000 if we can manage. We want to cover our costs, which stay fairly low, thanks to the gifting of the piano. Whole rental is still a big part of the fee that we do pay out, but most of it is volunteer, and we do get a good number of money raised.
That's amazing. So you were saying earlier that sometimes the money is used to participate in future Canadian conferences.
Yes.
When is the next one, and where is it going to be held?
So the next national conference is being held in Edmonton, and that will be next year. We had cancelled and postponed the 21, so it's moved to 2023 in Edmonton.
Amazing. Where can people go to get tickets for Serata?
You can go online to our website, MRMTA.org.
And for our Classic 107 listeners, of course, I'll embed a direct link to the Manitoba Registered Music Teachers Association's website.
Thank you.
For the tickets. And how much are tickets?
They're $25 for a single ticket, but we also have something called a studio pass, and that's to encourage students of teachers who are performing, obviously, but anybody who wants to come. The pass is $55 with 2 adults and as a maximum, and 3 children allowed for that pass. So I think it's a really good deal.
Yeah, it sure is. Tiffany, the concert Serata sounds like it's going to be just terrific. Thanks so much for taking the time to come in and chat with me today. And for our Classic 107 listeners, I'll be at the Serata concert welcoming people to the concert.
Thank you, Chris.
I hope to see you all there. I'm looking forward to hearing these amazing teachers and performers. Tiffany, thanks again.